What qualifies someone to offer themselves as a social media expert or consultant? Is this a viable pursuit? What do you think of that, Chris?
So first you need a goatee, and you need to put hair product in your hair. And there's also the requirement that you never tuck your shirt in, and that you say things like tweeps, and that you care what your clout score is. These are all requirements of being a social media expert. If you want to be someone who makes business selling social media services to a company, then what you need to do is understand how sales cycles work inside a company and understand the actual business value, not just the, hey, look, I can help you tweet value. You want to tie what you know how to do to revenue and growth, and you want to show how you can deliver some actual palpable, tangible financial value to the efforts that you plan to do, and that's where it all goes.
Well, it's a problem if you expect privacy. If you're a user of these services and you expect that the data that you put out there is going to remain private, that's the problem. Now, if you don't expect privacy, well, there's no problem at all. But we do expect privacy, and we want privacy.
For the folks out there, how can they really prepare themselves and basically arm themselves with the right tools and the right way to go about this, as opposed to, because no one's going to be reading, no matter what, no one's going to be reading all that fine print. How do you actually go about it?
If you're a consumer, you really must make the assumption that if you post something to an online forum, that information ultimately can become public.
The visuals, the branding is very, very important because it does help differentiate your business. That's never going to go away. But right now, the creative part is really focused on developing unique solutions, unique ways of engaging your audience. And for us, that means looking at the technology, the communications, the voice, the tone, and how we can engage those users.
A question I always have when dealing with CRM systems is, some of the concerns I hear from people are, how do I get my data into the CRM and maybe if I want to switch in a few years, how do I get my data back out? And how does that work with Sugar CRM?
Sugar allows you to get a complete relational dump of the database. Not all CRM systems allow you to do that.
Not at all. That's phenomenal.
Sometimes when you ask for a data dump, you just get like a spreadsheet of your contacts, and that's not going to do the trick because, again, you don't have the relational information of old emails.
Right.
You don't have what companies they work for, and even other emails to that company. Especially for compliance, that's a nightmare.
I remember back in the days of using ACT, and it was getting data back out of ACT was miserable. And to your point, you'd get an Excel spreadsheet, but you wouldn't have the relational database, and so therefore to piece it back together was almost impossible.